No intro, no BS. Time for the advice. Step 1. Don't actively try to impress her. Now, this sounds counterintuitive, but it's actually so important, and here's why. When you brag or actively try to impress a girl with how awesome or badass you are, you're just asserting the fact that you're not actually badass because you constantly need to remind everyone that you're badass. For example, do you ever see James Bond constantly trying to impress other people and telling hot girls that he's such a badass? Hell no! He knows he's a badass and that he's high status, and he doesn't have to worry about having to prove shit to anyone. I call this a reverse display of value, or RDOV for short. You see, it's basically when you signal high value by not going out of your way to show off your value. Think John Wick. He's an insane killer assassin who can literally handle any threat on his own without anybody's help. He's a man of few words because his actions speak so loudly that everybody already knows he's a badass. Even the badasses think he's a badass. You killed John Wick's dog. You knew right then and there that guy was fucked. I mean, he wiped out a whole fucking criminal organization because somebody killed his dog. He doesn't spend an extra second trying to show off how cool and capable he is. He just does it. Hey, when you actively try to impress other people or show other people how great you are instead of just being great, you are engaging in low-value behavior, or a false display of value. Elon Musk just shows up to Tesla and SpaceX and does what he needs to do. He's not constantly posting about it on Instagram or telling people how smart or rich he is. He doesn't have time. He's got like spaceships and shit to build. Constantly trying to impress a girl only proves to her that you're not confident enough in your own badassery to let it speak for itself. More importantly, your average hot girl has guys trying to impress her literally 24/7. So an easy way to separate yourself is to simply not try to impress her. That way, you easily separate yourself from everyone else and increase the chances of her noticing you. It sort of works like the pull-away. She'll notice your absence more than she'll notice you being there. And that's intriguing, making her like you more. You know, just last week I was hanging out with a friend of mine who's a relatively attractive girl. And her phone was blowing up the whole time from guys Snapchatting her, DMing her on Instagram and shit like that. So you can only imagine how many guys are hitting up the girl you like in an average day. Hey, spoiler alert, it's a lot. Okay, step 2, be unreactive. Now, this is the most important tip I'm going to be giving you in this video, and this is something you should apply to all aspects of dating and life in general. I've mentioned it briefly before, but it's so important, I'm breaking it down here in depth. So go ahead and download this into your brain, okay? When I say be unreactive, what I mean to say is this. If a girl doesn't talk to you in class one day, even though she usually does, don't be bothered by it. Act like you didn't even notice. If she said she's going to text you later and she doesn't, don't let it get to you. You were too busy being an alpha to notice. This unreactivity is deeply rooted in our psychology as mammals. Think about how a large dog reacts to things versus how a small dog reacts. A larger dog, like a husky, is largely unreactive. Unless there's an extremely loud noise or something super threatening, then it will likely stand its ground. It knows its ability and has no reason to be reactive to every frickin' little thing. Think about how anxious smaller dogs are in comparison. Chihuahuas and other small dogs often bark more and get defensive faster because they're less physically capable and more at risk because of their small size. Now, since humans are also mammals, this unreactivity registers in our brain as dominant and an indicator of capability. The more unreactive you are, the more capable and dominant you're assumed to be. If she teases or makes fun of you about something you're doing, act like it doesn't even faze you. If a guy comes up to you and makes a douchey comment, just act like it didn't even bother you because who gives a flying ballsack what he thinks? His opinion doesn't even faze you. If a guy starts hitting on your girlfriend, don't even get mad or jealous. Treat it like it's funny. There's no way she'd leave you for anyone else. If you walk into your bedroom and all the models from the Victoria's Secret fashion show are lying naked on your bed, act like nothing, like it's just another day. All right, well, maybe I'm getting a bit carried away here. You know, that kind of thing only happens to me. Hashtag Zeus so godly. The point I'm making is this. Don't let small shit faze you. And act like when you do something cool or badass that it's not even that cool because you really are that awesome 24/7. Being unreactive is the true mark of a confidence god, okay? And it's what will really impress a girl, considering it's different than all the other insecure guys who are constantly hitting on her and seeking her validation. Some other quick tips you can do are things like, don't always like every single one of her pictures on Instagram. Don't always look at her or check her out when you see her around. Don't tell her she's hot or compliment her on her looks if you're only doing it with an agenda. And lastly, have really strong body language. When you're unreactive, it makes her feel more comfortable around you. She doesn't have to worry that something she'll say will offend you or make you upset. She can be totally herself because she knows that you won't take things personally or overreact to the small stuff. The reason guys tend to overact to small things like this is because they're not secure or confident in themselves and their ability to keep a girl. So they get really emotional really easily. Most problems in relationships or dating come from one person overreacting to super small things that could be avoided by just not letting tiny things bother you. By being unreactive to this, you can cut down on the drama in your relationship by a ton. Step 3. Make yourself stand out and be perceived as high status. Simple things would be like dressing really well at the gym in decked-out workout clothes because most people don't care about what they're wearing at the gym, so it's easy to stand out. Hell, even I don't always wear dope workout clothes if I'm in a rush or something, so that would be an easy way to get points over a god like me. I mean, if that's even possible. This is also easy to do if you're really good at something. For example, if you're really good at acting and are the lead in a play and do a badass job, then that'll impress a girl. If you're a really good tight end on the football team, then that will impress a girl. If you're really good at making music and producing badass beats, then that's something that would impress a girl. Or if you travel a lot and document it, then that's another high-status activity as well. Basically, find something you're good at, and more importantly, something you actually like doing, and girls will notice it and it'll impress them. You could do petty things like throw a badass party and things of that nature, but that never lasts that long, and it isn't worth all the potential downsides. Number 4. Be yourself. Most guys try to act differently and put on a facade when they try to impress a girl, when in fact it's much more effective to just be yourself and assume people will like you anyway because your personality is so badass there's no way she can resist you. Now, when I say be yourself, I mean be the best version of yourself and remove all the negative aspects about your personality. I did a video on this already, so I don't want to repeat myself, but you should always be on the path to improving yourself, and this dedication and seriousness towards your own life will be perceived as insanely attractive. Bonus tip: always make sure you have a fresh-ass outfit and make it a habit of dressing well every single day. This is an easy, subtle way to separate yourself from most guys who just wear sweatpants all the time. I've beat style tips to death in the past, so if you want more details on that, you can find tons of style videos on my channel, and I'll link one on screen right now. If you want to learn how to impress girls over text and have them texting you first and asking you out, then I highly suggest you check out my course, The Godly Texting Guide. Inside the course, you'll get exclusive access to my war chest of over 100 opening lines, attraction-building tactics, and breakdowns of conversations, and openers you can use at any time to bypass the great filter and make girls obsessed with meeting you. What if your biggest problem wasn't, should I send this text? Your biggest problem was, should I go out with Athena or Aphrodite tonight? Nah, I kid you not, man, that's a real problem for me. What if you knew that at any moment you could whip out your phone and hit a girl up to come hang out with you right now and have her actually show up? What if instead of wasting all your time inefficiently trying to get girls, you could be confident knowing that once you have a girl's phone number, you'll know exactly what to do to hook up with her? I know what you're thinking. Zeus, man, that would be dating paradise for me. Well, my disciple, these are the experiences me and thousands of other based Olympians have daily, ever since learning the godly texting techniques that will catapult you to the level of gods. And yes, these methods are designed to get you banging those 9s and 10s as well. What's the difference between a 6 and 7 or a 9 and 10? You got it. It's the Godly Texting Guide. That's the difference. Here's a sneak peek of what you'll learn inside. The types of text messages you can send to make hot girls chase and text you first. My 100 best opening lines that are guaranteed to make girls respond to you. You can literally copy and paste these lines and start making girls like you immediately. The magnifying method. How to effortlessly flirt with women over text and keep the conversation so engaging she'll be staring at her phone screen waiting for you to respond. And if you're still not convinced, then check out what your fellow based Olympians have said about the course. Like this guy who said, "Zeus, you are a legend. My confidence in game has improved so much, this was well worth the money." Or this guy who got girls texting him first on Tinder. Or this guy who said he initially had his doubts but was shocked to find out that all the advice inside actually works. The proof is in the pudding, my friend. Hey, what else are you waiting for? Why are you going to keep getting ghosted and flaked on when there's a solution? Click the link in the description and I'll see you in there, okay? Zeus out!